Hello, and welcome to R&R Reviews Unscripted. As always, you're here with the Rogers brothers, and we have come today just to give some insight and talk about why we feel how we feel about our most current reviews that we've put out. Our topic today, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the latest installment in what is the MonsterVerse franchise that they are building within this universe.
Alert! If you haven't seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, please stop listening now. Alright, so as you've seen on our Facebook page, we gave Godzilla King of the Monsters a 5.4 out of 10 points.
And as always stated, a 4.0 out of 10 points is considered a passable, watchable film. So this movie does rank itself in higher than that passable, watchable to be slightly above average. We found that within this film, the plot was a little weak, but the true reason that we went to see this was not for a great storyline. It was to watch kaiju monsters fight each other to the death.
Correct, and that is exactly what you'll get when you go see Godzilla King of the Monsters. This film is full of massive monsters, enormous destruction, and tons of CGI.
And let me tell you, the CGI and special effects leave nothing unwanted. Just from the initial trailer, we could tell that this film was going to hugely rely on its CGI special effects and cinematography. And every sight was something to marvel at. In nearly every scene that we watched in this film, we saw massive scale sets, huge wide shots, and a tone that truly sets the film itself.
Indeed, this is a very large film packed full of eye candy. Something that I think goes very well with it is the score of the film. When you've got these big kaiju reveals, or we know a fight's about to go down, and the score comes in and the choir's singing really loud. It just adds to the massive scale that this movie is. It makes it feel larger.
Definitely. I mean, when it comes to the fight scenes and the monster scenes, that's truly the reason we came, and I feel like we're not disappointed in that at all. There's the intense feel, even with the camera shakes as the monsters pound into the scenes and you can hear them walking. It just feels like it pulls you in with everything it has. On the flip side of that, some of the weaker points, plot, the story, screenplay, the characters, and even some of the performances that were given. Overall, we know that we didn't go to this movie to see a crazy great storyline or to see some amazing performances. We came to see Godzilla fight some monsters, right?
Right, and I think part of where the plot went wrong for this movie was in trying to fit so much into the movie, while we're having this, massive fighting going on, that it comes in so subtle that the points that the movie wants to get across to you don't even come across your attention until the big reveal of that point.
Yes, and I felt that the motivation of some of our characters felt very ungenuine. And it wasn't even that it was ungenuine, it was that the movie was so large and such a big scale, so much going on, that when these motivational changes change in our characters, we don't have time to truly notice it or invest ourselves in what we're trying to see.
The plot and the dialogue for our characters could have been developed a little more efficient.
Definitely. Even a bit of the performances seemed a bit stagnant. Some of our actors seem as if they've been typecasted into specific roles that we've seen them play countless time and again. From our leads, Kyle Chandler and Vera Farmiga, we see this same kind of role that they've been in so many times over and over again. I'd truly say that our standout performance comes from Millie Bobby Brown, who really feels like she cares about this role.
Right. I think in this movie she shows everyone that she isn't going to be typecasted as only what her 11 character from Stranger Things is. She shows she's going to be able to break out beyond that role. And as well, she shows up that every film she's going to work on, regardless of what kind of film it is, she shows up to work, and she shows up to do a true performance.
Mark my words, Millie Bobby Brown will be an Oscar winner within her mid-20s to 30s.
I don't know about that. Leonardo DiCaprio was a great child star, and he didn't win an Oscar until he was well into his 40s. Can I just also note that it was hard to watch Charles dance at all in this movie and not picture him with a glass eye or an eye patch, because all I remember him from is Last Action Hero every time I see him.
180, you stupid spaghetti slurping cretin. 180. If I did a 360, I'd go completely around and end up back where I started.
So there's really not much more to say about this film. Let's be honest, our expectations going in was to watch kaiju monsters destroy each other and just basically create massive destruction. And that's what we got. And if you go in with those expectations, once again, you will never leave disappointed, but truly pleased in the visuals, in the sound, and in what we see of the fight scenes of Godzilla and these monsters?
Overall, with the expectations I had for this film, I was extremely pleased. I loved it very much, and I think if you go in expecting to see a traditional Godzilla film, you're gonna be very happy. I'm a very die-hard Godzilla fan, and when I go to see a Godzilla movie, I really just want to see Godzilla, fighting other monsters and being awesome and using his atomic breath, and that is exactly what I got.
All right, that's all the time that we have today. We want to say thank you again to our listeners for tuning in. Make sure that you check out our Facebook and YouTube page, R&R Reviews. Like those pages, you'll see all of our unscripted videos, all of our upcoming reviews.
And if you have any suggestions or films you would like us to review, please feel free to email us at rogerscinemahood@gmail.com. That's ROGERSCINEMAHOOD@gmail.com.
Feel free to leave a comment on our posts or email us to let us know what your take on the movie was.
Once again, you're here with the Rogers Brothers. As always, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
It's a beautiful day in the cinema hood.
May I help you? Yes. Could I speak to the drug dealer?